This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 7th day of November in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The recently formed Liberty and Justice Party today made it clear that it will not be joining with a Partnership for National Unity to contest next year's elections, unless it is in the national interest. Recently, it was revealed that the leader of the LJP, Lennox Schumann, held discussions with the leader of the APNU, President David Granger, on the possibility of the LJP joining the partnership. But at a press conference today, the leader and presidential candidate of the LJP, Lennox Schumann, said his party has decided to decline any coalescing in the run-up to the March elections.
Last night we had a motion carried in line with Article 4.1 of the Liberty and Justice Party's constitution that states that we are not going to coalesce with any political party going into this election unless the national security or national interests of this country demands it. At this point, we are of the firm belief that the country is in need of balance. We recognize and respect that the APNU-AFC has a massive following, and we have to respect that they are going to look out for their followings or their party and people's interests. And we also have to respect and recognize that the People's Progressive Party also represent a very large mass, and they have a responsibility to their membership. And at this point, the Liberty and Justice Party represents what we call a balance in this country.
Mr. Schumann also noted that the genesis of the meeting with the APNU was not for coalescing. He detailed that the communique requesting meetings with all political parties planning to contest the 2020 elections was dispatched. Prior to the meeting with Mr. Granger, the LJP met with all of the other small parties, he said.
I want to ensure that we are very clear on what it is we do. At the launch of this party in January of 2019, we said that we are open to communications with everyone. And we had set out to engage in dialogue with all parties. We had sent out formal notification to all parties to engage in that dialogue because we believe that is the only way to move Guyana forward.
However, Schumann pointed out that there has been no meeting with the opposition People's Progressive Party, since that party has not responded to its invitation for a meeting. He also accused the PPP of sending its agents for a backdoor meeting, which was rejected by the LJP. President David Granger was asked about the talks with the LJP leader yesterday, and the president said those talks have not progressed. He noted that the APNU remains open to other parties to come under what he calls the Big Benab.
The APNU is what I would say is a party that is committed to the Big Benab, and we prefer that all parties would come into the Benab with their constituencies. We're not asking them to lose their identity or lose their constituency, to come into the constituency. So in principle, APNU has no objection to continuing talks with the Liberty and Justice Party, but the talks have not moved forward. We are not in the business of sharing out goodies. We're in the business of shared principles, of working towards a common good, and if any party is prepared to accept the overall objectives of the partnership, they'll be welcome to come in.
The Liberty and Justice Party intends to contest the elections in all 10 administrative regions. More news coming up in just a moment.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Enter the GBTI Quick Cash Christmas promotion and make it a Christmas to remember. You get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. Plus, enter for a chance to win fabulous items for your home. One complete 7-foot granite top base kitchen cabinet, one sectional suite, one 5-piece dinette set, and complimentary baskets of goodies. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes.
Conducting a claims and objections exercise from the 1st of October 2019. During this exercise, objections to the inclusion of the name of anyone who is suspected not to have met the eligibility requirements for inclusion in the PLE could be made only by an elector who is listed in the same divisional list in which the person being objected to is listed, or accredited scrutineers of political parties, providing any such scrutineer has monitoring responsibilities for the division in which the person being objected to is listed. Objections can be tendered to the registration officer of the registration area from the 1st of October 2019 to the 11th of November 2019. You must present the relevant original documents in order for the transaction to be completed. Don't delay. Visit the nearest GCOM registration office today. For more information, visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy. Follow GCOM on Facebook at Guyana Elections Commission. Contact us on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy or the nearest GCOM registration office.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Guyana, the moment you've been waiting for is here. It's the Ministry of Education's Guyana Teachers Union 59th National School Cycling, Swimming and Track and Field Championships on November 17th through 22. Come see top student athletes and teachers from 15 sporting districts compete in intense rivalry. Cycling at the National Park, Georgetown. Swimming at the National Aquatic Center, Liliendal, November 18. And on November 19th through 22, the Track and Field at the National Track and Field Center, Leonora. Action starts 9:30. The National Championships where stars are born. Powered by Malta Supreme, Hits and Jams Entertainment, and NCN.
Welcome back. Finance Minister Winston Jordan has indicated that he will soon be announcing retroactive salary increases for 2019 for all public servants. The increases are expected to be retroactive to January of this year. In a brief statement today through his public relations office, Minister Jordan said there is no provision for a bonus this year or the foreseeable future, but he added that the salary increases will be announced. He said what the government is trying to do is to rapidly bring salaries and other benefits to a level that befits jobs. President David Granger was asked about a bonus for public servants yesterday, and he indicated that the finance minister will have to advise the cabinet on that issue. The government offered bonuses to all public servants in 2015 and 2016, but over the years after that, it has been offering retroactive salary increases. Let's tell you now, a local businessman from Monrepo on the east coast of Demerara is expected to face charges soon over the alleged attempt to import a number of containers of expired and substandard food products for the local market. The move comes after 4 containers containing various food items from Canada were examined by the Government Analyst Food and Drug Department. According to a statement from the Analyst Food and Drug Department, the 4 containers were refused entry following detailed inspections. The inspections found the deliberate removal of expiry dates, with extended dates being added by a date marking machine, and products removed from their original container and repackaged in bulk containers without labels. Additionally, the inspections also revealed that most of the food products were close to the expiry date, with others having less than 75% of the shelf life remaining. Some items were also relabeled with misleading information. The department also announced that inspections will now be urgently carried out at retail premises across the country, since 2 of the containers bearing substandard items were previously released without detailed searches before the complaints were made. The department has also indicated that it will alert the authorities in Canada on the discovery, since that is where the shipment originated. Legal proceedings will now be instituted by the department's prosecutor against the importer Faisal Ali of Monrepo. Opposition leader Barra Jagdeo is threatening to call out his supporters to restart protests if the president does not dissolve the parliament soon, as preparations for elections swing into high gear. At his weekly solo press conference today, the opposition leader said the dissolution of Parliament must take place soon.
He has to dissolve Parliament. He has to issue a proclamation. Let him delay that and we resume the protests, because that's part of the holding of elections or the dissolution of Parliament. And so I'm making it clear to him, if he thinks he's going to hang on there.
Mr. Jagdeo brushed aside the president's recent statement that he's keeping the parliament open right now, just in case there might be the need for emergency funding. Jagdeo said emergency funding could be accessed through the contingency fund, and the president ought to be aware of that.
But Parliament doesn't have to exist to have access to the contingency fund. And in any case, he can't pass a budget, so the 112 provisions would kick in next year.
President Granger has already issued a proclamation for the 2nd of March 2020 elections. A news source understands that the parliament is likely to be dissolved in the coming weeks. On the police blotter, 13 persons have been taken into custody as part of a police operation that has broken up a car stealing ring. The operation was carried out in different locations in Kurukururu along the Linden-Suslike Highway. According to a police statement, the operation was intelligence-led and alerted 3 motor cars, a number of car parts, a motorcycle, 5 generators, and the shell of a minibus. Investigators also found weeding machines and other items that are all suspected to have been stolen. The operation took place yesterday, and since then a number of persons have come forward to identify their stolen property. Additionally, some of those arrested have also confessed to the crime. The investigations are ongoing and charges are to be laid soon. Still with police matters, days after their arrest in neighboring Suriname, authorities there have handed over the 2 Guyanese fishermen who are wanted in Guyana for that deadly attack on a fishing vessel that left 4 fishermen dead. The 2 wanted men, 22-year-old Anut Budraj of Belvedere Quarantine and 21-year-old O'Brien Fraser of Eversham Village Quarantine, were handed over to local police on Wednesday. They are now being grilled in connection with piracy activities and the murder of fishermen Vishnu Siram, Marvin Tamasar, Lamar Petri, and Ajay Kisun. The bound bodies of Siram and Kisun were discovered when they washed up on the seashore in Berbice. The bodies of the 2 other fishermen are yet to be recovered. The 4 fishermen were attacked while at sea in early October during their fishing trip. They were chopped about the body, then tied up and dumped overboard. 3 other fishermen have already been charged in connection with the murders. And the Guyana Police Force today issued wanted bulletins for 3 men from the Kanji Berbice area in connection with an armed robbery committed in a Chinese supermarket in the same area. Investigators are on the hunt for 30-year-old Jason Isaacs of Bristol Street, East Kanji, 36-year-old Ravindra Punwasi of Palmyra, East Kanji, and 22-year-old Dudnot Bishundial of Kuberg Street, East Kanji. The 3 have been fingered in the 2nd of November robbery at a supermarket which is located at number 2 Village, East Kanji. The Guyana Police Force is asking anyone with information on the 3 to make contact with the nearest police station or call telephone numbers 226-6978, 333-5564, or 911. Across the Region is coming up next.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
Calling all bettors, November 9th to the Tower poolside
as Selector Carl celebrates his
birthnight party
called Bacchanal and Water.
Get ready to fetch as it's Carnival in November.
Ladies, Get out your bikini,
Short jeans,
flip-flops,
party in wet sections or dry sections.
music by the Boon DJs,
Fusion,
P-Star Perry,
Father Moe,
sponsored by
Stag Beer,
Future Express,
Chan Printing.
94.1.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
The Guyana Elections Commission would be conducting a claims and objections exercise from the 1st of October 2019. During this exercise, objections to the inclusion of the name of anyone who is suspected not to have met the eligibility requirements for inclusion in the PLE could be made only by an elector who is listed in the same divisional list in which the person being objected to is listed, or accredited scrutineers of political parties, providing any such scrutineer has monitoring responsibilities for the division in which the person being objected to is listed. Objections can be tendered to the registration officer of the registration area from the 1st of October 2019 to the 11th of November 2019. You must present the relevant original documents in order for the transaction to be completed. Don't delay. Visit the nearest GCOM registration office today. For more information, visit our website at www.gcom.org.gy. Follow GCOM on Facebook at Guyana Elections Commission. Contact us on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy or the nearest GCOM registration office.
Across the region right now, Caribbean News Service reports this evening that the Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, appears to have reached a new peak of frustration with the pace of Caribbean integration. She has declared that it has crawled to the point where her fellow CARICOM leaders are gripped by a crisis of will, and she is growing tired of giving speeches pointing the way forward for the 46-year-old regional body. Speaking to an audience that included some of her counterparts, ministers of finance and investment and senior representatives of international financial institutions, Ms. Mottley contended that the public awareness has already been done on such issues as migration, but that action on managing it remains far off. She called for a regionally owned or operated cargo shipping company that can transport agricultural produce between CARICOM states daily, as another example in which leaders continue to fail the people. Mottley declared the region needs to be able to have a maritime bridge. She argued that the ability of CARICOM member states to reduce the region's $5 billion import bill would make the difference to householders and families across the region. In other regional news, the mayor of a small town in Bolivia was attacked by opposition protesters who dragged her through the streets without shoes, covered her face in red paint, and forcibly cut her hair. Patricia Arce of the governing Mass Party was handed over to the police in Vinto after several hours. It is the latest in a series of violent clashes between government supporters and opponents in the wake of the controversial presidential elections. At least 3 persons have so far died. A group of government protesters was blocking a bridge in Vinto, the BBC reported today. That's a small town in the province in central Bolivia. The protesters accused the mayor of having bussed in supporters of the president to try and break up their protests. They have also blamed her for the reported deaths, one of which was later confirmed. And finally tonight, international news. President Emmanuel Macron of France has described NATO as brain dead, stressing what he sees as a warning commitment to the transatlantic alliance by its main guarantor, the US. Interviewed by The Economist, he cited the US failure to consult NATO before pulling forces out of northern Syria. He also questioned whether NATO was still committed to collective defense. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, a key ally, said she disagreed with Mr. Macron's drastic words. Russia, which sees NATO as a threat to its security, welcomed the French president's comments as truthful words. NATO, which celebrates 70 years since its founding at the London summit next month, has responded by saying the alliance remains strong. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.